Film photography is on the rise, and if you want your digital work to look like film, I have the easiest and most simple solution for you. We're going to be using the Archetype process profiles. If you want your work to replicate that of something like Portra 400 or Fuji Pro 400H, this is what you're going to want to use. So let's dive in. I'm going to show you how to download, install, and use these profiles. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is head over to the archetypeprocess.com, and there you'll be able to go to shop, click on profiles and styles, and down here you can download the Kodak pack, the Fuji Pro pack, or the monochrome pack. I have all three of these and they're all wonderful. So you can buy them all together or you can get them individually, whatever you want to do. But once you download those, you're going to want to pop over into Lightroom. Now, these are not presets. These are profiles. Okay. They're profiles, not presets, meaning they work differently within Lightroom. They are not going to show up over here. You will not install them over here on the left-hand side. Instead, you're going to go into the develop module and click on these four little squares here to get to the profiles. After you're in here, you'll go to the plus button, import profiles, and then you'll go and find, wherever you downloaded these, click on all of them, Command A, import, easy as that, okay? They'll show up over here on the right-hand side. You can see I have the Fuji pack, the Kodak pack, and the monochrome pack. Now, if you click on the drop down here, you'll see all of these images. On the left, these are the ones that emulate, the Frontier scanners. On the right are the Noritsu scanners. Depending on how you scan your film, you'll get a different look. I personally like the Frontier look better than the Noritsu, but it's all personal preference, okay? Now that you've done that, you also want to go and grab one more thing. These are camera optimizers, and these are in the Archetype Process Facebook group. What these are going to do is essentially, they just adjust your camera. As I hover over this, it adjusts the skin tones, it adjusts some of the blues and the greens. It's just affecting the HSL sliders. And this is just optimizing my camera for the best look, the best color rendition, okay? There's science behind it. I don't know what Dustin does over at the Archetype Process, but the man's a genius, and I trust him, and so I use these, and it makes my images look great. So you're gonna wanna download that. That is in the Facebook group as well. I'll leave a link to that Facebook group so you can join after you purchase the Archetype Process profiles. Now that you've imported the profiles and you have the camera optimizers, here's what we wanna do. We wanna edit, right? So this is an image I took at a session last week. The first thing I want to do is I want to just apply this optimizer. All right, so that's applied. Next, I want to go and find the look I want. Which film do I want to emulate? I think I want to go for Portra 800. So we'll scroll down until we get to 800 here. Personally, like this one here. So we're just going to click on that. You also have the ability up top to, decrease the intensity. Don't go over 100, please. Keep it 100 or less. I typically just keep it at 100. So after that's applied, I like to increase my exposure just to match the skin tones, get the skin tones right. I'm just keeping an eye on their faces here. And then I'll just go down the list, y'all. I just decrease the highlights, boost some of the shadows, decrease some of the whites, boost the blacks. And you can see we're already pretty close. It's a little warm, so we're going to tone this down probably to 5700, somewhere in there, and that looks pretty good. You can continue if you want to and increase some of the lights, increase the darks, increase the shadows. If you want to play with this a little bit, you can. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do to this image because it looks darn good already. All right, so there's that. Now let's move on to another one just so you can get the hang of how to do this. All right, so same thing, apply the optimizer, go to the profile. I'm going to use Fuji this time. We'll go a Fuji Pro 400H. Which one do I want to use? This one kind of looks nice. All right, so we'll use this one. Again, we'll increase the exposure. Again, keeping an eye on their face, all right? Decrease the highlights, increase the shadows, decrease the whites, increase the blacks. Contrast a little bit. Increase the lights, increase darks. A little warm again, so we'll tone this down a little bit. There you go. That's it. That's all you got to do. You got like a really great, clean, simple film look by just, that took less than like a minute to do. And then you can just copy and paste the rest of your images. And so this is a very, very, very easy way to get the film look. I'm gonna use these on my friend John's images. He sent these to me. He was asking, hey, how do you get these to look so good? And I wanted to just show, hey, this works on your images too here, okay? So same deal. He shot on Fuji. Now he's showing the X3 or X4. So these don't necessarily apply, but you could still, I guess, apply like the X100V optimizer. Again, we're going to go up here. We're going to choose the film we want to use. Let's use Portra 400 this time. We'll select this one here. All right, same deal, guys, same deal. We're going to bump up the exposure, keeping an eye on their skin tones. I prefer my images a little bit brighter than most people do probably, but I don't like the light and airy look necessarily. I just want like an enhanced life sort of look. So there we go. They're in like a foresty area. And so it is a little bit darker. So I am going to keep increasing these just a little bit just to bring up the black. So nothing is like crunchy and too dark here. Okay. And probably can decrease some of the temperature. That looks pretty good where it's at. Come down here a little bit, bump this up, that back down. And there you have it. I mean, that looks pretty good. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, guys, lighting is going to play a factor in this, right? I am backlighting them. That gives them a very nice, flattering look. They're not under any dark, heavy trees. Same for here. We're backlighting. You can see the beautiful rim light around their heads. They're in open shade, so there's no dark trees hitting them. John was in probably a tricky location where it is a little bit darker. A lot of trees. They're in a foresty area, so that probably played a factor. So lighting, color, outfit choice, just those sort of things are going to affect the image as well. So we just want to make sure that we set ourselves up for success and shoot in the best locations possible, shoot in the best light possible. Of course, you don't always have that option, but generally for me, I found that really helps make my images pop. So yeah, that is how you edit and how you use the Archetype process profiles. If you want to, you can even push some grain into the image here as well, just to give it a little bit more filmic quality. But yeah, that's really it. So if you want to use the Archetype process profiles, head to the link in the description. I've left everything down there for you if you want to download them. This is what I've been using for the last year. I love my work currently. I love using these profiles. I cannot recommend them enough. Easiest way possible to get the Portra 400 look or the Portra 800 look or the Fuji look. Like, it's the easiest way to get that film look. Guys, if you want to learn how to make more money in your wedding photography business, you're going to want to go and watch this video here. I guarantee you're going to love it.